Alright, name a retro game with babies, eggs, and pure cartoon chaos. I'll go first. Drum roll, please. I give you Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. 90s kids know this one instantly. Crayon style worlds, secret collectibles, and a baby that never stopped crying. If you grew up on a Super Nintendo, this classic is burned into your memory. Released in 1995 on the Super Nintendo, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island is one of the Nintendo's boldest moves ever. Instead of playing as Mario, you control Yoshi, and instead of saving Princess Peach, your job is escorting baby Mario across a pastel-colored fever dream of a world. And yes, baby Mario cries. Constantly. All the time. We'll get there. Of course, one of the first things people notice about Yoshi's Island is the art style. It doesn't look like a typical Super Nintendo game because it wasn't trying to. Nintendo deliberately designed the game to look like it was drawn with crayons and colored pencils, giving it that storybook, hand-drawn vibe. This was revolutionary in 1995, but most games were leaning hard into sharp pixels and realism. It's cute, it's cozy, and it's gorgeous almost 30 years later. Here's where things get spicy. Yoshi's Island uses Super FX2 chip, which is actually hardware inside the cartridge. This allowed the game to do things most Super Nintendo titles couldn't, like rotating and scaling sprites, morphing enemies, wild boss transformations, smooth animations that felt ahead of their time. That chip is why bosses like Raphael the Raven and Sluggy the Unshaven look absolutely unhinged in the best way. Nintendo basically said, let's see how far we can push this thing and then push it harder. Instead of fireballs or spin jumps, Yoshi fights with eggs. When Yoshi eats enemies, he turns them into eggs that trail behind him like deadly little planets. You can aim them with a curved trajectory, which added a level of strategy that was rare for platforms at the time. This mechanic was so good that it became a defining feature of Yoshi in future games. Also, let's be honest, nailing an off-screen enemy with a perfectly arched egg feels incredible. Now, you knew we were going to talk about it. Baby Mario. Instead of losing a life instantly, Yoshi has a countdown timer. When Baby Mario gets knocked off his back, if you don't recover him in time, you lose the life. And during the countdown, Baby Mario cries loudly. Fun fact, the crying was intentionally designed to stress the player out, pushing you to act quickly instead of playing cautiously. It worked too well. Love it or hate it, it's one of the most memorable mechanics in Nintendo history. Yoshi's Island is packed with hidden collectibles, including rare coins disguised as normal coins, hidden flowers, stars that reward skilled play. Getting 100% completion on a level isn't easy, and the game encouraged replaying stages to master them. This made it perfect for completionists before achievements were even a thing. And yes, some of those rare coins were straight up evil. The real villain here isn't Bowser at first. It's Kamek, the Magic Koopa pulling all the strings. Each world ends with a boss that Kamek magically supercharges, leading to some of the most creative boss fights on the Super Nintendo. And when you finally reach the end, you get giant baby Bowser, a final battle that still holds up as one of Nintendo's most epic finales. At launch, some fans were confused. No Mario? Too cute. Too different. But over time, Yoshi's Island became recognized as one of the greatest platformers of all time. It influenced future Mario games, Yoshi spin-offs, and proved Nintendo wasn't afraid to reinvent itself even at the height of success. Today, it regularly lands on Best Super Nintendo Games Ever lists, and honestly, it deserves every spot. Games like this are the reason so many of us fell in love with gaming in the first place. Bright colors, weird ideas that somehow worked, and mechanics you never see today. Babies, eggs, cartoon chaos, and worlds that felt like they were pulled straight out of a sketchbook. Whether you remember renting it for the weekend, replaying levels for secrets, or just hearing those sounds burn into your brain, this area of gaming hit different. That's why I love doing these. Everyone remembers it a little differently, and there's always more than one right answer. So drop your guess in the comments. Tell me which game came to mind first, and let's see who really knows their retro games. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, comment, and follow the incredible underscore conundrum for more retro gaming, nostalgia, and name that game challenges. And as always, game on.